Alright, so guys, in this video we're going to look at the quotient rule. Yesterday we looked at the product rule, which was multiplying, and the quotient rule comes into play when we're looking at dividing. So what we have an example of here is y equals x squared plus 2x all over x squared plus 1. And in your log tables on page 25 you will see this symbol for it. And it says that when you have y is equal to u over v, that dy dx goes to v multiplied by du dx minus u times dv dx. So we need to find out what each of these are. And as I said, get out your highlighter and highlight what you know. So we know what u is. And v is what's on the bottom, so we're going to take that. And the last thing I forgot here in the formula is that it's actually all over v squared. So you'll see that in the log tables. Just be careful, don't forget it like I did. And then we have dv dx, which we'll be able to find out if we know what v is, and du dx, which we'll be able to find out if we know what u is. So I'm going to then write out what each of them are for myself. So I'm going to write out u was in pink. So I'm going to say, what was u over here? Well, u was x squared plus 2x. And my dv and my du dx. So my du dx, that notation again, if you remember, du dx means differentiate u with respect to x. So if I differentiate u here with respect to x, what I'll get is 2x plus 2, because remember, multiply down by the power, take 1 off the power. So it becomes 2 minus 1, which is 1. The other one then we need to figure out is v and dv dx. So I'm going to write that down over here. So I get v is equal to x squared plus 1. And if I differentiate that, then what do I get? So the green here is going to be dv dx is equal to, if I differentiate that, multiply down by the power, becomes 2x, take 1 off the power to the power of 1, and constants, as we know, go to 0. So this is what we have, and the next step is just about assembling it all together into this formula. So we're just substituting in. There's nothing fancy or complicated about it. So we're going to say then dy dx here is equal to v. So I'm going to track that with the colours again for you. So we're going to say v is x squared plus 1. Du dx worked out to be, if we have a look here, 2x plus 2 minus u. So we're going to go minus u, which is x squared plus 2x. And multiply that by dv dx, which we know dv dx is 2x to the power of 1. And that's all over v squared, right? So all over v, which was x squared plus 1, and square that. So that's what we have there then. And we said all we do then is we multiply out, so we're going back to our algebra skills. So make sure you've brushed up on multiplication and division in algebra. So what we're doing is we're multiplying these two out. So we get x squared multiplied by 2x. That gives us 2x cubed. X squared multiplied by 2 is plus 2x squared. Plus 1 by 2x is 2x. And 1 by 2 is plus 2. Then we have minus, and we're going to put all of this in a bracket, so we know to change the signs of everything in the end. So I'm going to multiply this out, and I'm going to get 2x cubed plus 4x squared. And I'm going to keep that in the bracket, and then underneath I'm going to write out x squared plus 1 squared. Right. So the next thing I need to do is make sure I multiply out that minus. So on this side I'm going to get 2x cubed, nothing's changing here, 2x squared plus 2x plus 2 minus 2x cubed minus 4x squared. And if we tidy all of that out, then what we're doing then is, well, recognizing, okay, I've got a 2x cubed here minus a 2x cubed there. So combining those together, I'm going to get 0x cubed or just 0, it'll go. The x squareds then, so if I look at all my x squareds and group those together, what I have is 2x squared minus 4x squared. So if I have 2x squared and I take away 4x squared, I'm left with minus 2x squared, and then I'm left with 2x plus 2 all over x squared plus 1 all squared. And our final answer then would be to just write that out, 2x squared plus 2x plus 2 all over x squared plus 1 squared. And it's okay to leave it like that. You will be allowed to leave it like that. More often than not, you'll get your full marks. So the only time where you would be asked to not write it like that, they might say write it in the form of a squared plus bx plus c or something like that. All right? So that's the quotient rule. It doesn't get more complicated than that. They might put in your sin x and your cos x into these positions, but it's much the same process. You have to write out your u, your v, your du dx, and your dv dx. So just take your time with it. And if you have any questions, as always, come up and talk to me.